Most people think the biggest economic danger is a sudden crash. But some of the worst collapses do not happen all at once. They happen slowly, year after year. While your money buys less, your savings loses value, jobs get weaker, and the people in charge keep telling you the problem is under control. That is what made stagflation so dangerous. It was not just inflation, it was inflation, unemployment, and the policy failure all hitting at the exact same time. Check out this video, watch this closely, because when a country delays the pain instead of fixing it, that delay can turn into a lost decade.
Goldman Sachs used a word this week. One word. The markets heard it, and they ran. The markets heard one word: stagflation. Prices rise, jobs vanish, and the central bank cannot fix either one, because the cure for one makes the other worse. It happened before, it lasted a decade, and nobody saw it coming. When I first came across the Federal Reserve transcripts from this era, I did not believe what I was reading. The chairman knew, he wrote it down, and he kept rates low anyway. This is the story of the 10 years America's money died slowly, and why it matters right now. August 1971, Richard Nixon walks to a podium and makes an announcement that changes the world. He closes the gold window. The dollar is no longer backed by anything except trust. Inflation starts creeping, slowly at first, then not so slowly. Nixon has a problem. An election is coming. He needs the economy to look strong. So he calls his Federal Reserve chairman, Arthur Burns, and he tells him to keep rates low. Burns knows better. He writes in his diary that inflation is becoming dangerous, but he complies. The money keeps flowing. Then Nixon does something no president had done since the war. He freezes wages and prices across the entire economy. The press calls it brilliant. Americans cheer. Inflation appears to vanish overnight. But price controls do not kill inflation. They hide it, like putting tape over a warning light on the dashboard. Underneath, pressure is building. And then, the trigger. October 1973, the Arab oil embargo begins. OPEC cuts production and bans exports to the United States. Oil goes from $3 a barrel to $12 overnight. The trap snaps shut. The collision is instant. Cheap money, frozen prices, an energy shock all at once. Inflation and unemployment rise at the same time. Economists said that was impossible. It was not. Gas lines stretch for blocks. Americans wait hours for fuel. Odd even rationing by license plate number. Fistfights break out at stations. In some states, pumps simply shut down. No fuel left to sell. And if you are still watching, you are exactly who this channel is for. Hit subscribe. Now, back to 1974. Inflation hits 12%. Unemployment passes 7%. The stock market, adjusted for inflation, loses 45% over 14 years. Let that number sit. A 14-year bear market, and almost nobody talks about it. By 75, it looks like the worst is over. It is not. 1979, the Iranian Revolution. Oil doubles again. Inflation spikes to 14.8%, the highest in modern American history. Savings accounts pay 5%. Inflation runs at 15%. Every dollar in the bank loses 10 cents of value every single year. The people who played it safe got destroyed the most. That is not a functioning economy. That is a slow motion robbery lasting a decade.
Hey everyone, sorry to break in, but if you want to go deeper into this and learn how to make money during a downturn, as opposed to when everybody just makes money, little bits of money during good times, I've got a premium offer for you. I put together 4 programs into one big program in an insane price on how to take advantage of a real estate cycle, a real estate downturn. It will show you everything you need to do and what you need to know to go crush it during a downturn when everyone else is freaking out. You're actually out there doing something about it and making money. All right, with that being said, links down below. Let's get back to the video.
August 1979, A new man walks into the Federal Reserve, Paul Volcker, 6'7", cigar between his teeth. He already knows what he has to do. And he knows nobody will like it. Volcker raises the federal funds rate to 20%. 20, the highest in American history. Mortgage rates hit 18%. Home sales collapse. The auto industry flatlines overnight. Farmers drive tractors to Washington in protest. Construction workers march outside the Fed building. Volcker receives death threats in the mail. Lumber dealers send him 2x4s from bankrupt building projects. Unemployment hits 10.8%, the worst since the Great Depression. But it works. Inflation falls from 14.8 to 3.2 in 3 years. The fever finally breaks. Personally, Volcker did not save the economy. He performed surgery without anesthesia, and the patient survived, barely. Burns tried to avoid the pain. He created a decade of it. Volcker accepted the pain up front. It lasted 2 years instead of 10. I spent weeks reading through the Burns diaries and the Volcker transcripts. The pattern is unmistakable. Delay makes it worse. Every single time. Oil is above $90 a barrel this week, the biggest weekly gain since futures trading began in 1983. Payrolls just fell by 92,000. Economists expected growth, they got contraction. If you watched my Hormuz video, you already know what an oil shock does to an economy. This is the second chapter. The people who survived the 70s did not predict Volcker. They owned things governments could not print. They held real assets while paper burned. Burns had a choice and chose wrong. Volcker had a choice and chose pain. The Fed has that same choice right now. So the question is not whether stagflation is coming. The question is, who is sitting in that chair? A Burns or a Volcker?